All right, what's good, y'all, man? We back with another stream. This time, I'm gonna talk about Butcher's Blackout, which occurred on Friday the 13th, but also June 14th. This was at Queen Mary. Oh yeah, yeah. So as I was saying, it was on Friday the 13th specifically. That's when I went, but also they had June 14th, which was a Saturday. So first, I'm gonna talk about my experience. Then I'm gonna show some pictures I took, and then I'm going to do. Oh, I'm gonna show y'all the video. There were people that actually recorded their experience in the maze. I don't know why I didn't think to do that, but anyways, so I went at 7 o'clock. Oh, okay. So let me go all the way through. Let me go all the way through. Okay, so I pulled over my cousin, right? So we pull up to Long Beach. I want to say between 5, 6 o'clock. We go, we get some food from Eat Fantastic. If you've never been to Eat Fantastic, pull up, man. It's in different cities, but we went to the one in Long Beach. Their burger is always excellent. I always get they double cheeseburger. I put ranch on it per bite. It's always hitting. It's never a miss. Nothing. It's always hits, no misses. Then I had some eggs because they serve breakfast all day. I didn't know that. I thought it was only during breakfast time. So I asked for side of eggs. So I had a full out protein meal. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a protein meal for real. So we pull up to Queen Mary at 7. The parking is $25, which is not bad. I've seen it at one point where it's really $40. And that was around 2018, 2019. So yeah, I'll take $25 any day to park at Queen Mary. So there's no shuttle. There's no free shuttle for Dark Harbor. There's only one maze. I know they got something about summoning Samuel. I didn't go through that. So I hit the ship. I did the maze, and I hit the little quote unquote after party, as I call it. So, okay, so the pros, getting on the ship for free was dope. I never was on the ship for free. I never even went on the ship before. I got to walk through all the sections where people actually stay. You know, the sleep at night, the rooms, the hotel rooms. I went outside on the docks where they were serving margaritas and even tacos and stuff like that. And I got to see a view of across from where we're at. So you can see the pike. Y'all know what the pike is, where the Ferris wheel is. You can see it's all sea, and then you can see across from there downtown Long Beach. So that was dope. Um, One big con that I did have was the time slot. So I got a early access type of text where I could be in the queue to be able to get my tickets. So I don't know what happened, but for some reason I wasn't able to get in like where everybody else was. So by the time I did that same day, most of the time slots were already gone. So I can only take, to my memory, I can only take 10:30. So here's the problem. Whatever time slot you take, and they sent the text the day of when I pulled up, they reinforced that you cannot enter the maze until your time slot. So my time slot was 10:30, but we pulled up at 7 because I didn't know if they was gonna stand on business or not. But they clearly stood on business and then some. Like they kept reinforcing that, like they would check, like, oh, what's your time? And then let's say if you was to try to lie, they gonna look at your ticket. So me and my cousin went down like twice, and then we just realized like, all right, this ain't gonna work. So we pretty much sat on the boat like around 8ish. I watched the very end of the, what was that game? Of the Thunder and the Pacers game. And the Thunder had won. They were losing most of the game, but they found a way to win. So I watched it on my phone. So we still was walking around a little bit, like looking at the lines and stuff like that. And then we finally was able to get in line at 10 o'clock. So the workers that were there that were being real strict, they finally left. So we got in line at 10:30. I mean, sorry, at 10 for our 10:30. We got to hang out with the ringmaster. I took a selfie with the ringmaster. Then we went through the metal detector. We went upstairs and then we enter the maze. And before you enter the maze, they give you these glow sticks. It's for every person who enters the maze, you get a glow stick, but you have to return it back at the end. That's the key. So there's these red glow sticks. You go in. Like I said, it's pun intended. It literally is a blackout maze. So it's the sequel to the prequel of Feast from 2024. So that there's another con. Even though I think the maze is cool, it's too dark. Like it's literally too dark. So like when these people are trying to give jump scares and try to scare you, all you do is hear noise. And it's just like, oh, okay. Like it's one of them things. Like if you get scared easily, then this maze is for you. But if you don't get scared easily, you'll enjoy it just because, but it's not like anything spectacular. I still enjoyed the fact that I went through it though. So we get through it, we got the gold sticks, whoever. There were definitely scare actors spread it out through the maze. So by the time you get to the very end, there's a little after party. So I'm gonna show you the pictures like right now. Um, hold on a sec, y'all. Hold on a sec. All right. So here goes the full screen. So this is at the very end. So it's like Feast, the final cut. I didn't realize why they posted that title at first. I really didn't realize it. So I'll explain why last. So that's another pick. That's a hard pick. That's another pick. That's a hard pick. And this is when you finally are done, this is the very end. And yeah, so we can stick to this. All right. Here we go. Boom. Okay. So what was I going to say? Oh, so Queen Mary, the actual event is on the right side of you when you park. So it's literally where Feast is every year that's been hosted, to my knowledge, at Dark Harbor. But the event does not feel like Dark Harbor. Like you see the Queen Mary ship and you hear some music at the very end on the right side. And then that's when you see the stuff that I showed you, the feast and all that. But let me post this picture again so you can see. So if you see this, it says Feast the Final Cut. The reason why it says that is because this is the last year of the Feast maze. The first year was 2017. That was the inaugural maze. And they had banners for each year. 17, 18, 19, 24, yeah, and now 25. So this is the final joint. So that's why they had it. So I was able to take a selfie with the chef or the butcher, however you want to put it. I was able to take a selfie there at the joint. And like I say, it's lit. Like it was any bigger, they could have turned it into a club, like Dark Harbor Club, where everybody was dancing and stuff. So there's seats where you can sit down, and then they have a bar where you can either get drinks or limited meals. I would advise anybody just eat and drink before you go to the event, because why would you want to pay $14 for a beer, $16 for a wine, $18 for whatever food that they offer, where you could get bang for your buck outside of the Queen Mary? So that's my personal take. Subjectively, I grade the event overall a C plus. I'm biased. I don't like the fact that no workers stood on business. I was trying to get in with my cousin ASAP inside the maze. They was not letting that happen. So they did their job. They did their job. But overall, I would give a C plus. I'm still glad that I went. And kudos to them for even having this event on Friday the 13th and extending it to the 14th for those who weren't able to get tickets on the 13th. So I'm going to give kudos to Queen Mary overall. Shout out to Queen Mary Dark Harbor. Now, let's get to it. We're going to now watch the actual maze. Here we go. Y'all see that? Cool. All right. So I'm gonna put the whole thing on. This is very beginning, y'all.
I'll walk in front anyway. Is that okay?
All right, let me stop real quick. You see how dark it is? Like, it's pun intended, it legit is a blackout maze, but it's just too dark. You can't see anybody. And see, on paper and in theory, that should be very scary. But for this particular situation, it's not like All Saints Asylum maze where they pop out and you can actually see them when they pop out, even in the dark with the glow stick. This, I'm telling you, you can't really see anything. So you just hear stuff and you're like, okay, all right, on to the next. So I'm gonna continue right now, y'all. Pardon me.
I can't see jack diddly squat.
Hey.
Hello? I hear laughing. Oh. What the fuck? Hello? I can't see you.
I can't see what I'm supposed to be.
I know.
Because you can't ever pick up anything.
No.
What happened? What's cheating? We'll spike kids on us right now. Yeah. It is cheating? I can kind of see a little bit now. My eyes are adjusting. Oh, this game. He knows that laugh. Oh, no.
Hold on to my back belt loop.
You see how it's dark? It's dark as fuck. Like you can't see shit. They just start walking and they can't see shit. Quickly, I wanted to say shout out to Entertainment Connection. I want to shout out the Huntline. I want to shout out TLEB. Shout them out once again for videotaping this. They have a live show on the Huntline channel that they do weekly. So check them out. Shout out to the Huntline. Let's continue.
Oh.
Who's over there? Oh, what the shit? Get me out of this. I'm lost.
What the hell? I can't see shit! Okay. We just ate there. Oh God, it's gonna get dark. Are you real? I don't know if you're real. Ah, Lord Jesus! Where am I going? Oh! It's Mary! Hi, Mary.
I said hi to Mary as well. I just remember that.
I hope you're doing okay. Oh! I'm sweaty. Hello? Oh, I don't. Oh! Oh! Oh no. You go through there, I'll go through here.
Oh yeah. So in this section, there's two ways you could walk. You could go through that little tunnel, aka oven or wherever, or you could just casually walk.
We'll wait for the others. Hello. Oh! I'm here.
All right, y'all. Shout out to the Entertainment Connection. Once again, shout out to TLEV and the Hotline. I know they probably rolled up as a clique because they be doing shows together and stuff. So shout out to them. But this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like the maze itself, dog, it's just too dark. And like you saw the chef or the butcher at the very end, but like in my situation, they was gooned out. And I'm not talking about the perverted way, like them people on X. I'm talking they was gooned out. Like that section where the oven is, they came out and they trying to scare you while you growing the oven. Apparently, someone was walking behind me, one of the scare actors, but I never even noticed. And then someone did it. There was someone who had another scare actor behind them, but this happened to me as well. My cousin told me. I was just like, bro, I didn't even know. So it didn't faze me, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about. In theory, it sounds great, but they didn't execute it well enough. Now, All Saints Asylum, they're in Apple Valley. They do it very well with Blackout mazes. You can check them on YouTube as well. So yeah, and then like I said, there's an after party. I already showed y'all the pictures, but it's a legit after party afterwards. So that was dope. And then you just leave and shit. I got some Mexican food afterwards, and I ate that in the morning to keep it real. Shit. Enchiladas with sour cream is always gonna do it for me. So yeah. That's overall the event for that. I wanted to talk real quickly. Well, I don't know how quick I could make this. I wanted to talk about Queen Mary Dark Harbor 2024. So let me see if I can look something up on that. Dark Harbor 2024. Fuck. Trying to think. Big Top, Breakout, Feast, Infirmary, Lullaby. Okay, I'm gonna try to remember what I saw. I'm gonna try to remember what I saw. So if you see that, all right. So for 2024, these were the 5 mazes. So it's Big Top Terror, Breakout, Feast, Infirmary, and Lullaby. Breakout was the new joint. But it's 2 mazes in one, so really it's 6 mazes overall. So let me go back to full. Yeah. So look, overall last year was solid. It was the return of Queen Mary Dark Harbor. They had been gone for 5 years. They had been back since 2019. So I rank it 3rd overall for the Halloween events that I went to. I'm gonna let y'all figure out what the top 2 were, but they were number 3, and they're number 3 by default because Six Flags was number 4 by default. And I'll do a separate video on that event at another time. The biggest issue with Queen Mary Dark Harbor is that they switched management. So they were managed by Epic Entertainment. Now they're managed by 13th Floor. And I should do a separate video on the history of 13th Floor, specifically in LA when it comes to haunt events. So if you know who they are, they've managed Haunted Hayride, and they've also managed Shacktoberfest. So if you went to Shacktoberfest in 2022, the way the mazes were structured for Dark Harbor, no, 2023, pardon me. If you went in 2023, it was structured the same way. The same way. They changed a couple of the mazes in terms of some of the structure, but for the most part, it was structured the same way. So Infirmary was it was this fucking warehouse. I'm gonna try to look out for y'all while I'm doing all this fucking talking. Give me a second, y'all. Shacktoberfest 2023. Okay. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick so y'all can understand and see what I'm talking about. All right. Okay, so y'all see that. All right. So this was 2023 Shacktoberfest at Queen Mary. So they had Dear Man's Wharf, Pirates Cove, Midway Madness, Pumpkin Patch. Damn that event. So it says Shacktoberfest is going to return at a new location in 2025. Yeah, just stay away from Queen Mary Dark Harbor. I agree with Five Fires on that. Okay, so Dead Man's Wharf in this case was Infirmary. So if you went through Dead Man's Wharf, then you know what I'm talking about last year. This was Infirmary. So sorry. Pardon me. I'm so wrong. Dead Man's Wharf was Breakout. Now I got it. Now I got it. It was Breakout. Okay. So with Breakout, it was about Samuel the Savage. And pun intended, he broke out, right? So the problem with that, which was a big problem with all the mazes, there wasn't enough scare actors. And the missing spots where there's supposed to be scare actors that Epic Entertainment would fill, 13th Floor filled it with Party City / what's that other place? Fuck. I'm trying to think about that other place. Spirit Halloween. They replaced it with animatronics. So they have random animatronics that don't fit the story. So in the story of Breakout, okay, so you go through a tunnel, sewers, and you never see Samuel the Savage. Not once. Not once do you see Samuel the Savage. I don't know where this motherfucker was. So this is an indictment on 13th Floor. You don't fucking see him. Then you go from that to like randomly outside and then inside a fucking church. So before you hit the church, there's a random nun from the Conjuring animatronic. Then you hit the church, it's more nuns. Has nothing to do with Samuel the Savage. You never see this motherfucker the whole entire time. You never see him the whole entire time when it comes to the mazes and shit like that. I'm not lying. You don't see him. Like I don't recall really seeing the dude. So you get through the church. You still go around like outside before you're done. It's orchestrated just how Dead Man's Wharf is. So yeah, that was to just show you and illustrate how the night was going to go. So then I think we did Infirmary. So obviously that's got to do with the doctor and the medical center. That one was solid. I think that was on the ship. I think that one was on the ship. So then we had to wait for Big Top Terror. And when I said wait, we had to wait. Like it was not ready. So we got in at 7. And then the first maze that you could do is Breakout, then you do Infirmary, but you have to wait for the rest of the mazes. There's only 3 left. So we went for Big Top Terror. It took a long time to open. And then we went in through Express, even though we wasn't supposed to. Because this is how disorganized they were. Like they didn't have no real structure. Then we did, what's that shit called by Scary Mary? Lullaby. Then we did Lullaby. We went on the ship for that. Then we went back on the ship finally for Feast. That was the last one. Feast, never go on Feast last. Feast is so fucking packed, and you're in a long ass line if you got general admission. So we was in line for a fucking hour. We just stood on the ground for a fucking hour before finally entering. So by the time we got to that, I was fucking done. And then we didn't eat or drink nothing because it's too fucking expensive. Like, I didn't want to justify it. I can't justify it in my head buying that shit, and it's really not good. So we hit up this Mexican spot. I'm not going to say the name because it is a secret spot of mine that I found. I don't want motherfuckers just running up in that shit now. So, yeah, we did that, and then we hit back home. And I took my family. So overall for that event, I gave it like probably a C plus, to be honest. Yeah, I think I gave that shit a C plus, maybe a B minus. I think I gave it a C plus for sure. Because the Big Top Terror was just like the joint. Let me show you something. Dead Man's World, Pirates Cove, Pumpkin Patch. It reminded me of Pumpkin Patch, but I was honestly, or the Pumpkin Shack, either way, whatever you want to call it. The Pumpkin Shack was more interesting to me than the Big Top Terror. The Big Top Terror was not good this year, and usually they call it circus or something like that in previous years, but it wasn't good to me. Yeah, it was not good. Then the Midway Madness was okay. Pirates Cove was okay at best. But I'm telling you, if you went to Shacktoberfest in 2023, it was orchestrated in a similar way for Dark Harbor. And that's because 13th Floor is in charge. Like I said, I did enjoy the event overall, but a lot of people did complain that first night on Reddit, and they didn't have media night until several weeks later. I think it was like, fuck, I can't remember the media night. Oh yeah, but media night was it was several weeks afterwards. It wasn't the first weekend, and usually media night is the first weekend. So that tells you how disorganized they were overall. So I'm gonna give them somewhat of a pass because it was the first year back. But this year they got ramped that shit up. And look, they talked about Feast is gonna be over now with the final cut. So they gotta go out with a bang. And I told the butcher who I took a selfie with, I said, yo, y'all gotta go out with a bang since this the final cut. Y'all can't play no games. Y'all can't be having missing scare actors. Y'all gotta go all out. We don't give a damn about those animatronics. Hire more scare actors. For real though. And that was a big theme, big issue throughout the whole night. The lack of scare actors in these mazes. Even when we was able to go on the ship. Because one of the biggest issues with Shacktoberfest was I think the first year you couldn't even go on the ship. Like the first year, the first 2 years you couldn't go on the ship, something like that. Then the year before Dark Harbor came back, you could go on the ship once, something like that. And I forgot the name of that maze. Fucking, I don't remember the name of that shit. But it's where Lullaby was last year. Just to put in perspective for y'all, I think it was it's where Lullaby was. So like I said, I give it a C overall. I was gonna go and do a whole entire video. Maybe I'll do that next time, do an actual review on the videos of the mazes. But that shit is like almost 27 minutes, and I'm already been talking long enough. So I got through the whole Butcher's Blackout. I talked about going on the ship, the after party, and then I talked about a little bit about 2024's Dark Harbor and the issues with Dark Harbor. Like I said, I gave it a C+ overall, and like I said, I gave Butcher's Blackout a C+. So it's right on the same range. So they got work to do. If they want to ever get back to 2018, 2019, in 2019, I put that as number one over Horror Nights. So if they ever want to get back to that, or even at least compete with Not Skate Farm, because Not Skate Farm, I'm gonna do a review on last year as well. If they want to get to that level, they got work to do. They got their work cut out for them. So I hope they figure out the formula during the off season so they can excel this upcoming year. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about the Butcher's Blackout if you went. Let me know what you think about the video that I showed to y'all, the pictures I showed to y'all. Let me know what you think about last year's Dark Harbor and what you expect this year as well. Thank you for watching. Salute.